it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Notoriously Morbid E2 palette, which means and you. Now, I was super excited about this. I saw this and I pre-ordered it. Now, I do like the artwork on the outside of the packaging. The shade names are on the back of this. And it does tell you for each shadow if they're vegan or if they're lip safe, because not everything is lip safe. It has the ingredients, and this has a 12-month shelf life. Now, this palette retails for $54.99. So we're gonna start off by swatching, which I'm gonna kind of have to do some back and forth because it's not all listed, but I love Notoriously Morbid's formula. They are super duper soft and they perform really, really well. Now, the mattes are a tad bit crumbly, just for you to know. So first off, we have Eternity in a Box, which Eternity in Box is labeled as a bone matte white shadow. Okay, then we have Turkish Delight. So I'm not sure if you, oh yeah, see how the yellow that looks there? But if you look at it on my finger, see how pink it is? So Turkish Delight is a watermelon pink that shifts from gold to sunset orange. Very, very pretty. Then we have You Thought Someone Loved You, which You Thought Someone Loved You is a cotton candy pink with the icy teal shift with a glimpse of peach. So it is a very unique, like on my finger you see how it leaves like a pink cast, but it looks very purple there, but you can catch some teal in it too. And then we have Betrayal of Oath, which Betrayal of Oath is listed as a dusky matte plum. So let's wipe those away. Now, their mattes don't always swatch the best, but they perform really well. And these sparkle shades in here, let me tell you, they are gorgeous. Gorgeous. So, then we have No Motive. Look how pretty that is. No Motive is a grape purple super shimmery shadow with shifting bubblegum pink shimmer. Then we have Worm Tail, which Worm Tail is a hickory brown matte. Then we have Kingslayer, which Kingslayer, do you remember in the BH Cosmetics that orange glitter that everybody was hoping was a shimmer? This looks like that. So Kingslayer is a yellow gold that shifts from peach to orange to grape. It is so pretty. That's what it looks like on the finger. So you can see the orange and the yellow. And then on my hand, you can see that there's some lime green to it. Then we have Talk Less, Smile More. I think this is my favorite color in the palette, which looks like this. Talk Less, Smile More is a very vibrant ocean blue that shifts mint green and gold. So I really like this. Let's swatch the others. Now, one thing I will say that I don't like about this palette is if you look at it, they are seated very poorly in the palette, but I can get over that. This is a small indie brand, so I understand that. So then we have Cyanide Lace, which is a fern green matte shadow. Then we have Long Live the King, which Long Live the King is a super sparkly Kelly green that shifts gold and lime. I love Long Live the King. Then we have You As Well, which You As Well is a deep forest mossy green that shifts to antique gold. And then we have 30 Coins and a Kiss, which is an eggplant purple with a gingerbread brown shift. So that's the last shade up at the top. Now, This is a palette about backstabbing. So each one is listed as like the shades, like 30 coins and a kiss is Judas. You as well as Brutus. Long live the king, Scar. So I like the theme behind that because I like that it's a little bit morbid, but I think that's kind of what attracts me to this brand. But that is all the swatches, and you can see how sparkly their shades are. I really like Notoriously Morbid. I think this is like my 3rd or 4th palette by them. Oh no, this is my 5th palette by them. So yeah. So let's start off by pulling our hair out of the way. And I've already primed my eyes. I used the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in light. Let's grab some eye tape. But again, these are super duper powdery. So with them being powdery, I do prefer, and most of you would probably too, put your eye makeup on first, because you can see just from swatching this how dirty some of the shades have gotten. Which there's really not much that can be done about that. So I'm gonna grab a big fluffy brush. This is the Lunar Beauty LB1, and we're gonna go into Eternity in a Box. Like, when I say there's kick up, look at Eternity in a Box. You see how much, yeah, you can see how much powder is on there. Like, it's everywhere. So I'm just gonna use that to kind of set down my whole lid. But again, I don't mind there being kick up. I don't mind there being shadow that kind of goes everywhere. As long as the shadows perform beautifully. You know, what they do in the pan, I don't care. I don't care if I get fallout on my face. That's why I do my eyes first. I can wipe it away. And so far, I really, really like Notoriously Morbid's formula. That's why I keep buying the palettes. It's not only the formula, but it's also the palette design and everything like that. Because I'm beautifully twisted too, you know? I like to be a little bit different. So I think what I'm gonna do next, trying to decide. I think we're gonna go into this eggplant, which is called Gollum. So I need a little bit smaller brush. This is the Lunar Beauty LB2. So we're gonna take Gollum and we're gonna bring that into the crease. Now, as you can see, this palette only has 4 matte shades out of the 10, which is fine because I have a lot of good mattes from other brands. So I would rather have good shimmers. I don't know about y'all, but I love a good shimmer formula. That is always what attracts me more to a palette, is shimmer over mattes. So you can see the shade lays down very, very well, and it blends out beautifully. See how easy that was? But again, you can see on that color, because it's darker, how messy it is. So if you don't like a messy palette, this is not the palette for you, because I'm barely tapping in and they're this messy. Like, I'm not digging my brush into these shadows at all. Look how pretty that looks though. I haven't done just a plain simple like purple smoky eye in a while. So now I'm gonna go into Wormwood, and then what this one's called, I can't remember all the colors. Wormtail. So we're gonna go into Wormtail. That one is not as powdery as the others, but I mean, it's still powdery. And I'm just gonna keep Wormtail towards the outer edge of my eye. There we go. Just to kind of give it a little bit of depth. Now, I do wish that there was a darker matte besides Wormtail. Like, I think that this palette would have done really well with like a really good charcoal gray. But again, those are all things I can live without, depending on what else the palette has to offer. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the No Motive right here. I think that'll look super pretty all over the lid. And as I said, I haven't done like a straight up purple kind of look in a while. So we're gonna grab, this is the Fender Blender by Huda Beauty. Nope, that does not work. So, where's a flat brush? Okay, so this is the Rephr 02 brush. See if it'll pick up on here. That's a little bit better. Let's wet it. I think it definitely needs to be wet to pick up. Yes. And I think that this would work better with the glitter glue. I just didn't grab it out today. But I think it'll still be good. Oh yeah. Once you get it on there, it's really freaking pretty. Look how pretty that is. Gotta wet it again. I really like that color. Part of what I think is a thing that stands out with Notoriously Morbid, one thing that I do really like about them, and this is not sponsored, I pay for these shadows myself. I don't get sent anything, so my thoughts are my own. But with the Notoriously Morbid, I like how well thought out the collections are. I really do. See how pretty that is? And you can see how it really, really does catch the light. But again, these shadows are messy. If you don't like a dirty palette, definitely, definitely stay away. But look how pretty that looks. I really like that. So I think what I'm gonna do on top of that, just to add a little bit of something, is we're gonna grab the lighter purple that has some mint in it. Oh yeah, you see how that adds just a tad bit more depth? We're just gonna apply that over the top. So we're still getting this sparkle from that deeper purple, but we're getting more of the shift from this one. And I like to do this kind of thing on a regular basis where it's kind of like layering shadows. It gives you a whole different look. I really like that. That's so pretty. Okay. So I like where that is at right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go off camera. I'm going to do the rest of my face makeup, and then we will come back and do the lower lash line and talk about our thoughts on the palette. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. So let's go ahead and add some shadow under the line. This is the Rephr 2 brush, and we're gonna go into, what is the green called? Cyanide Laced, this fern green shade. Because I figured this would be a really pretty color to go with the purple on top. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So, and I don't do a whole lot of purple looks, and I forget how much I actually really like purple. So I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going to go into Long Live the King, which is that glittery green, and I'm going to spray it because I want to apply, see how I just added that to the front portion? Oh yeah. So pretty. Just to add a little bit more sparkle. And I'm going to take that purple shade from the top that I used and kind of on the opposite side, so I'm mixing just a little bit of both of them to get it in that inner corner. I love how that sparkles. And I want to take a teeny little brush and the pink shade, which is Turkish Delight. We're going to spray it and apply that pink to the very inner corner. I wish that pink had just a tad bit more sparkle to go along with everything else that's in this palette, but I don't think it's bad. I just think that I wish it had just a tad bit more. Dust away any fallout, because yes, there was still fallout. Add some mascara. Again, I'm still using 2 different mascaras, and I am not wearing falsies at this point because I am doing a month-long mascara try-on. Because the 2 mascaras that I'm using are supposed to grow lashes, or at least that's part of the claims. But yeah, I'm not gonna count my eggs before they hatch, count my chickens before they hatch, because, you know, that stuff doesn't always work according to what they say it's going to. But this is the finished look, and I really like it. I think it's pretty. I think this is a good springtime palette. It blended well. Again, my faults for this palette is this thing is atrociously messy. And I'm not a big fan of how the pans are seated in there, especially for the price. I wish there was a little bit more care taken into it. But other than that, I really like these shades. This one, and this one are just like out of this world sparkly. And I really enjoy it. So I would recommend this palette if you're interested in it. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all later. Bye.